What's up, y'all? Happy Hump Day, everybody. How y'all doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Make sure that y'all hit that like button as y'all walk in the door. Come on and take a seat. Okay, it's 83 people in the room, so the front row might be taken already, but I'm sure you can find some place to get in where you fit in as people are coming in the room. So let me say hi to the people, okay? Let me say hi to the people. What's up, Patricia? She said, I always hit the like button on my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you so much. I hope everybody else has hit that like button. Hey, Amber. Can't wait to hear this, child. It's about to be a whole situation. You got more wine, Loretta? Yeah. Oh, y'all. And what's up, Star? Hey, Natalie. Lemon Kush was up. Andre said, I'm ready. I hope Pam and Simone are here 2 quarters in session. Listen, they might be tired of talking about it, but if they want to come on, they know they can. I honestly didn't reach out because, child, they was over on Hip Hop Inquirer last night breaking it down. But I'm going to get back to that in a second. Hey, Cool Gamer. Andre, what's up, boo? Natalie said, I made sure the kids were squared away because we don't need no answer, baby. Hey, Mr. Willie Brown, what's going on? Hey, Nay. You never hit me back. I hit you up earlier. I thought I had missed you, but I'm right on time. Hello, everyone to the chat. Hey, love. No, I've been coming in late this week. You know, I'm on vacation, so I'm with the family and stuff. Hey, Diva, what's up, my love? Hey, Quake, what's going on? L Love. Hey, thank you, Quake. Thank you, L Love, for having my back in the comments about my video yesterday. I appreciate y'all. You almost feel like you need a notebook, baby. Hey, Cherise Earl. Hey, CBBJ. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Colton. Marilyn. Hey. Congratulations to Cool Gamer on becoming a member. Oh, Cool Gamer became a member. I didn't see it. Oh gosh, y'all. Did somebody gift it or did you become a member? It's not popping up. You know, if somebody gets gifted, it doesn't pop up. Hey, Kishwar. Hey, Natty. Hey, Caramel. What's up? There's a lot of people. Hey, Angela. How you doing, my love? Starbell, Wanda. Hey. Hey, Leela. Oh, thank you, Mr. Willie Brown. You did it. Thank you, Mr. Willie Brown. I appreciate you for gifting and membership. And congratulations to Cool Gamer for being the recipient. Y'all know we're going to be gifting membership on July the 1st. Y'all know we're doing the 1st of the month. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Denise. Layla, how you doing? Do you have your wine? Y'all killing me with the wine. Hey, Jessica. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Steph, Rich, Donnie. What's up, Tracy, my producer and showrunner? Okay, you hit like. Okay, thank y'all. Hey, Ty Williams, Miss B. Okay, gifted memberships. Okay, I'm about to go look. I know you sent me the screenshot. I'm about to go look. Hey, Wanda. Hey, we just had a whole conversation about this the other day. What's up, Miss Holly, girl? I ain't about to mess up your name again today. I just listen. My brain ain't working. You were listening to Hip Hop Power Live last night. It was very interesting, baby. And I had a conversation with somebody who was on the call, who heard everything. Okay. Hey, Lexi, what's going on? Hey, Brenda. I'm sorry, I thought I heard something. Hey, what's up, Mia? Oh my goodness, y'all are coming in the room. Okay. I think I'm almost at the bottom of the list. Danielle, hey, Shanta Gregory, hey. Okay, I think I done got everybody. If I didn't get you, blame it to charge it to my head and not my heart. Let me see these gifted memberships, and then we're gonna get into this. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Oh, okay, so I got you. Willie Brown, thank you for gifting that membership. I appreciate it. Couple of quick announcements, and then we're gonna get into this real quick. I did move up my birthday party because I was supposed to be going to the LL Cool J concert on Sunday, but the concert was postponed. So I will not be going to the show. So I moved my party up to Sunday, which is my actual birthday. It'll be Sunday night because I think I'm going out. I think I have plans. I don't even know at this point because I had to redo everything because I thought I was going to be going to the concert and now I'm not. But I'll move. So we're gonna be partying on my actual birthday, which is Sunday. Okay. So hope y'all can make it. Hope y'all can be there. Okay. Yeah, y'all be careful with all that smoke coming down from Canada. It sounds like it's hitting the Midwest now. It was hitting the East Coast a couple of weeks ago. It sounds like it's coming down through like Chicago and Indianapolis and Indiana and all of that. So y'all be careful. Y'all be careful. Yeah, honey. Now listen, I do not have any wine tonight, but I do have this. And this got stuff in it. Okay. This is an adult Slurpee. Well, you see it in melted. I had to put in the refrigerator, child, because baby, I had this earlier and I was hot. I was out in that sun, and alcohol and the sun don't mix. So I do have this. Okay. Now, Mystery Ho. I don't know. I don't want to say your name wrong, but Mystery Ho, you must be new here, my love. And I appreciate you being here, but you're not going to rush me. We're going to get to what we're going to get to. Okay? Now, I love you, but you ain't going to rush me. Okay? Because I'm talking about my birthday. You ain't going to rush me talking about my birthday. Anyway. So I did link. What's up, Ebs? How you doing? It is some sort of a blue situation. I don't know what the hell is in it, but it's a blue situation. So last night, Hip Hop Inquirer, aka Dennis Byron. If you follow Dennis over on Instagram, Hip Hop Inquirer is his brand. He went live, and the title of his live was something along the lines of did Tasha K perjure herself or something to that effect in court? Now, I didn't even know Tasha K had a court date. Now, I knew she had filed bankruptcy, but I didn't know that she had a court date. So he broke everything down yesterday. When I got off, remember when I got off here last night, I said somebody sent me some information and I'm going to come back live if I need to. Well, by the time I got done getting all the information I needed to gather, it was after 11. And y'all know I'm in this class. I got to get up. So I said, well, I'm going to come back and give it to y'all tomorrow. So here we are, okay? So here we go. Let me start by saying I have linked Simone's video, Girl Is That Legal, and I have linked Hip Hop Inquirer's video for you guys can go, for your own edification, you guys can go listen to it. I'm going to be referencing both videos. But let me say before I get into that, I have spoken, this hearing, you could call into the hearing. Right? It was a public hearing, but not in person. So pretty much, well, public isn't the right word. You could get the link and you can listen in on the call. You can listen in on the hearing. You also can contact the trustee's office and you can get the transcript or even get the audio if you would like to, because it's a public hearing. This isn't like a private situation. So if y'all don't believe anything that people are reporting and you want to get it for yourself, find out who the trustee is, reach out to their office, and you can get a copy for free, okay? So let me get all that out. Now, I spoke to someone who was actually on the call. So my information is not solely coming from the video. I did talk to somebody who was on the call. Okay. So here's what it is. Okay. When you file bankruptcy, it is not automatic. And a lot of people may not necessarily understand that just because you tell the court that you need relief and that you can't afford your bills, it does not mean that the court says, okay. You have to go before the trustee and you have to basically go over everything that's in the filing, verify. There are steps. So the hearing yesterday was the first part of that step. It's called a 317 hearing, I believe. I want to make sure I said it right. And it is with the trustee. The trustee is not necessarily an attorney or judge. They may be, but that doesn't mean that's not necessarily who they are. They are the person that is going to oversee this bankruptcy. Anybody who has a vested interest in the case can be a party to the hearing, especially people who you owe. So if you say you owe Toyota, somebody from Toyota Financial Services can be a part of it. If you say you owe the IRS, a representative from the IRS will be a part of it. So yesterday, there was a representative from the IRS there because Tasha K said in her bankruptcy that she owes the IRS. Cardi B's attorneys were there because obviously. Not really sure who else was there as far as her debtors are concerned. But we know for a fact those two people were there because they spoke. And we're going to get to that. If you did not catch, I want to give props to my girl Simone. Girl Is That Legal. Y'all drop the link for me, please, to Girl Is That Legal. Simone did a video last week basically saying, is Tasha K guilty of bankruptcy fraud? Question mark. And she went over Tasha K's bankruptcy. And I'm going to say that a lot of what Simone covered actually came up in this hearing yesterday. A lot of what she covered came up in this hearing yesterday. One thing was for certain is that Tasha K was not prepared for this hearing. Her attorneys, either A, her attorneys did not properly prepare her, or B, she don't believe she's state and she didn't listen to her attorneys. When it comes to Tasha K, either one of those things could be true, right? Either A, her attorneys did not prepare her for what she was about to walk into, or they tried to talk to her and she ain't listen. Now, it could be either one when it comes to Tasha K. Instead of trying to publicly humiliate Simone, Tasha should have listened and possibly hired her. You ain't lying. She should have hired Simone, because Simone said, girl, this, and this is going to be a problem. And damn if it didn't happen yesterday. So let me get to my notes. Oh, somebody just sent me a cash app. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. She sent me a cash app for gifted memberships. Thank you so much, my love. We will definitely be gifted memberships this week coming up. Thank you so much. So here is I vote she didn't listen. Listen, that could very well be it. What's up, Pam? Pam, if you want to come up here, let me know. But I know, you already did this last night. So I know you're a attention span for other people's business, child. But girl, if you want to come up, you're welcome. I was gonna call you when I got off of this live. Anyway, child. I gotta have my nightly phone call with Danielle, child. So, first of all, from what am I understand? Okay, it's a 341. I said 317. I just be making up numbers. 341 hearing, child. So, first of all, Pam, hold on. I'm gonna drop the link for Pam. Now the link is for Pam. I'm not letting nobody else up. If you ain't Pam, you don't even click the link, because I ain't letting you up. And I know what Pam look like. If you want to come up, Pam, you can. If not, girl, I understand. Like I said, I know your attention span for other people's situations be short, child. This is for Pam or for Simone if Simone happens to come through. Like I said, I didn't bother them because I knew they had already spoken on it last night. So. But that's for Pam. If Pam want to come up, I ain't letting nobody else up. I love y'all, but I can't tonight. I can't, because I got homework to do when I get done with this child. Okay. So first of all, I feel like they started off a little light. I feel like the hearing started off a little light. They started off with her rent. They said, and when I'm saying they, I'm not sure who's asking these questions. I don't know if it's the trustee. I know some stuff I know specifically Cardi B's attorneys asked, and some things specifically the IRS agent said. But when I say they, I'm just saying somebody on the call, okay? Because I didn't listen. I'm going by my notes, okay? They started off with a little, I feel like, listen, if somebody say, how much do you pay in rent? I feel like that's an easy answer, right? Like if I ask y'all how much our rent/mortgage is, I feel like most of y'all could tell me. Okay, it's the trustee. Thank you, Pam. It was the trustee. So I feel like the trustee started off with an easy question, right? How much do you pay in rent? Tasha says $2,500. She got a 3-bedroom apartment down in Miami, $2,500. So I believe these were Cardi B's attorneys said, well, we looked up the address because, of course, they have the address of where the woman lives. We looked up the address, and the cheapest apartment in that building starts at $4,900 a month. Tasha K said, oh, I'm talking about my part. That's not, ma'am, that's not what they asked you. They said, how much is your rent? They didn't say how much you pay. They didn't say how much your part is. They said, what is the rent at where you live? The rent at where she lives is like $5,500, $5,600 a month. You said your part is $2,500, like you and your husband are roommates, like y'all splitting bills. And don't get me wrong, I know some married couples do that, but child. So, baby, we started there, and it went downhill from there. It just went downhill from there. So you can see that from the very beginning, Tasha K is trying to establish that her and her husband are operating as separate entities at this point, that they're not operating. Hey, what's up, Xavier Boone? That they're not operating as one. And so they're really trying to start that from the beginning. And Simone explained that on her video, and she also explained it last night on Dennis's channel, is that because Florida, because the way the laws in the state of Florida are, if Tasha K is totally separate, even though her and her husband are still married, if it's totally separate, then it sort of protects her husband, which is why a lot of people do go to to Florida. A lot of older couples, a lot of the laws are, are written in certain ways that, and she was like, that's why OJ down there, because yeah, he could protect his assets. Okay. So, okay. So then her paperwork says that she owes the IRS. Well, first of all, her paperwork said that she knew that she owed the IRS, but she didn't have a dollar amount. So when the trustee said, well, how much do you owe the IRS? She says, I'm not sure. I think it's $120,000. So the IRS agent says, excuse me, wait a minute. According to our records, you owe us $92,000. However, you still haven't filed taxes for all of the years, all of your years. You ain't filed. Okay, here she comes. Let me make sure this Pam. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure this Pam. Somebody back here saying they Pam, but let me make sure it's Pam. Oh, it's Pam. It's Pam. Okay, because at first your picture ain't come through, boo. Oh, let me get her up here, child. Lord, this. Okay, here we go. Child, why they ain't letting her up? Pam, hold on. It ain't letting you up here, girl. Child, this,
Hey.
Okay, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So you kind of going backwards. That's why
you said what?
You're going backwards.
I'm going backwards? Okay, I was just going in the order of my notes. Okay, tell me where to start.
So when they started out, okay, they said they probably like Pam be on every hearing.
She do. Pam be there, child. Pam be there.
Does she work? They started
she worked,
out,
y'all. I'm telling you, she worked.
And the trustee was like, is there any creditors that is on the line? And then the lady from the IRS said, my name is so-and-so. I'm an agent from the IRS. I said, oh, this is about to get real deep, right? So then he said, anybody else? Now, it was clear that it was a lot of people that was on this line, So he's like, anybody else? Any other attorneys? It was crickets. Nobody said anything. So then he goes on and he asked, just the general questions like you would just do as far as, what's your address? She gives some P.O. box somewhere and then asks about, is this the office space? He's just asking questions kind of like what's in the application. So that's more like what he started out with, asking about her assets and what do you own and why are you filing bankruptcy? And she was saying essentially her biggest debtor obviously is because of Cardi B sued her. He was like, I'm an older guy, so could you explain to me who are these people?
He didn't know who Cardi B was.
I think he knew it had to be a big deal because it was all these people that I presume that was on this call. So he says, she kind of tries to explain it that she lost. And he gets well, go ahead with your notes. I just wanted to tell you it was backward. I wasn't trying to take over your
No, you girl, you fine. Listen, y'all, I'm just going from the notes that people gave me. I talked to somebody who was on the call, so if I'm going out of order,
I love you too, Natty. Thank you.
They love Pam, honey. They love Pam.
Yeah. Shoot.
So I was on the part which they said that she owed. So she said that she owed $120 in back taxes, but the IRS agent was like, well, you owe at least $92,000. However, you have missed some years. We don't have filings for some years. And Tasha, from my understanding, Tasha got the stuttering.
Yeah, she put up that Baptist finger well, no, the IRS lady was like, wait a minute. You owe 90, you owe $90, whatever, $1,000. and was like, but you have not paid. You have not filed all of your filings. So essentially, I think she was inferring it'll probably be more.
Right. It'll definitely be more than 91,000.
Inference.
Right.
And I think that was like towards the end where a lot of the stuff with the IRS occurred.
Okay.
Like earlier, you hear about like her website. She acknowledged she owns Unwind with Tasha K. She mentioned that her and her husband have filed bankruptcy in the past. I think we talked about that, and you said that she said that on her platform.
Because they had a transportation company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, she
did that. But and then she did mention about Olga, and this is one thing she was doing, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and take over. But one thing that I noticed she was doing was she was making it real clear that Olga was a criminal defense firm, and it was like, but you knew that when you hired her. She kept saying, the judge said, well, who represented you in that case? Criminal legal defense firm, or whatever the firm name is. She never said their name at first. She just kept saying like what the name of the firm was, criminal legal defense, and da 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 da. And she was like, and she lost. And essentially, this is the crux of why she is filing this bankruptcy. So the judge said, well, have you ever tried to work this out with them? Have you ever reached out to this Cardi B and asked, could you make arrangements? And she was like, no. She was like, so you never reached out? She's like, no, I've never reached out. And then said, well, are you in communication? We communicate on social media. And he was like,
now listen. Let me rewind for a second, because I was there, Pam. I be going for the slow climb. But let me rewind for a second. First of all, let me go back to this whole I was being represented by criminal defense attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
Let me rewind. Let me rewind to that. First of all, ma'am, I remember this, and this was probably about 2 years ago, because this was the preliminary hearing, and y'all know that the preliminary hearing happens, where they can hammer out, the attorneys can come together and go over whatever motions they need to go over, hammer out whatever they need to hammer out with the judge, whatever, before the case even starts officially, right? From my understanding, I remember YouTubers reading the transcripts and they were quoting the judge. Now, I ain't going to quote it because I don't remember the exact quote, but what I do remember is that the judge told Tasha K after that preliminary hearing, you need to seek new counsel. He even admonished her attorneys, and I believe he even questioned one of them about where if they even went to law school.
Yeah, I heard the same. Again, I wasn't there for that, but I did watch a lot of the commentary and people that have the transcripts.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But not even just that. Really, she was windmilling across the internet.
Oh yeah, Olga this, Olga that.
That's her sister, remember?
Right. My attorneys are the best. My attorneys are this. My attorneys are that. And my thing is this. So fast forward 3 years, 2 years, however long it's been, I guess probably about 3 years now. I'm not going to say what you don't get to do, but I'm going to say what you don't get to do now is use that as an excuse. They told you, first of all, you knew that you were in civil court when you hired a criminal defense attorney. Let's just start there. You're not that stupid. Second of all, the judge told you, ma'am, your attorneys ain't getting the job done. This was just the preliminary hearing, and they got their ass wiped up by Cardi B's attorneys. You may want to invest.
She told them how much she paid them, child.
She said she paid over $300,000.
$300,000, child. She could have paid me $250,000, and I'd have did it. I mean, I'd at least. She wouldn't owe no damn for $1 million. I can't say you wouldn't have lost, but I'm saying,
well,
I don't even know, you might have won. I ain't even joking. Look, I'd have had so many motions in there to whittle that claim down. I don't know. We might have walked away up out of there.
But let's be clear. Okay, two things. Number one, Tasha K did not lose because Cardi B's case was that strong. Tasha K lost because of Tasha K. Tasha K lost because she literally admitted on the stand, yeah, I lie.
But see, Tasha K, some of the stuff I did see, I can see a reasonable, if she didn't have some of the extra Like if she has some chill, like some discipline. And
she don't though.
And didn't have some of the extra like commentary that added. Because some of the stuff, it wasn't that she totally just made everything up. Because you had somebody that came to you, gave you this information. We were talking about this. So you didn't totally just pull this up out your behind. So there were ways to maneuver it, but when you don't deal with attorneys, like when I started out, I did criminal, and then now I do civil, and then now doing wrongful convictions. It's kind of a mixture of both. So, but there's definitely a difference, and people think that's why immediately, even when I was on Dennis's channel, I'm like, I don't do bankruptcy, so I'm gonna say what I know from what I do, but you can't be the jack of all trade and the master of none. So I don't just try just because somebody come to me because they do some type of pet law or something, and I just try to do it. Now there's things my family members come to, and then I say, all right, I'm gonna figure it out because I know they don't have the money, so I'll figure it out for them. But I don't make that a habit. I have my areas and I stick to my areas. With Olga, it wasn't even just that she did criminal defense. She was a newer attorney. I don't think people know that. It wasn't even like she was out here just windmilling for a while. And newer, I'm saying maybe 3-4 years or something when she started with working with her, like around that. Anything to me 5 years and under, you're newer. And I say that because even when you want to do what's called pro hoc vice, which is go to other states and just go in for this one time only up under somebody, they don't even let you do that till you're at least 5 years in. They don't let you do mediations in my state until you're at least 5 years in. It's a lot of like steps that they have depending on your years, assuming that you've been continuously practicing. So for somebody that has a defense background, and then not just civil, there's also a difference between state and federal court doing civil. Federal court is no joke. You can lose off a procedure.
Yeah.
They have local rules. They have the general rules. They have the rules of your judge. You can lose off of rules. And when I saw that her attorney filed that appeal, you can tell she just didn't even know the rule. If you noticed on the docket, it was a lot of procedural errors. Right. Very important with civil. They paperwork you to death. Criminal isn't like that. You can almost like, it's so repetitive. But when it comes to like civil, they will paperwork you to death and you can lose from procedure. So it's not nothing where you can just say, oh, I'm trying to cut my teeth. That's cool. I was new in an area at one time. You know, everybody has to learn. But you get somebody seasoned and senior, I don't care how old you are, to come and you second chair for that first time. Your first major case in civil is a huge case against Cardi B, who has unlimited resources and big pockets. Like, then you gonna make that your first case? This is what you want to follow you, that you lost on your first case and lost real good. Like you got a real good loss. 4 million.
Yeah, so I agree, and that's why I'm saying, like, so that came up in the hearing that she said that she wants to sue them for malpractice. But here's the thing: you don't get to sue somebody for malpractice just because you didn't win. Every lawyer ain't gonna win. Contrary to popular belief, every lawyer doesn't win every case. You know, so somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. You don't get to sue just because you lost, especially if, because I remember her saying a few. Maybe about a month or so ago, she did a video and we talked about it over here. We reviewed it and she sort of went through, I think the video was even called How I Lost or something to that effect. And she went through how she, in her opinion, how she lost the case, right? And one thing that stuck with me is she was talking about how the Black attorneys didn't want to support her. And she tried to go to Black attorneys first. And she tried to get a Black attorney to represent her. But wait a minute, but listen, no, you don't want her as no client. But listen to what she said. But listen to what she said, though. She said
back then, I wouldn't have known. You know, I just got on the internet 2 days ago.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't have known no better, child.
I wouldn't have known no better. I just got on YouTube a year ago, so I'm just not learning all these people on YouTube. So this case started way before I was even on YouTube. So she would have called me. I wouldn't.
Child, your son would have told you. Your son would have told you, child. But what she said was, and this is how I know that what she said was when she went to the black attorneys, she said that they told her to settle. She was like, all of them were just fans of Cardi B. They were just fans of Cardi B. They wanted me to settle. And I'm like, no, maybe they were telling you right. Maybe they, based on the evidence as they reviewed it, they felt like it was in your best interest to settle the damn case.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that
she had the resources though. I don't agree. If you pay $300,000, you had the resources to try that to get a decent attorney. Because I know a few in Georgia.
But what I'm saying to you is, I understand. I know you're an attorney, so I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job. But what I'm saying is, if you go, because I've had this happen to me before. If you go to an attorney and they go through the facts of the case and they say, listen, I can take your money. I can take this all the way through. But I'm telling you, based on this information that I have in front of me, let's try to settle. You see what I'm saying? And she didn't want to settle. So she found an attorney that said, okay.
But I don't even know how she met her, because if you Google her, it ain't gonna be civil, it's gonna be criminal. Like everything about her background is criminal. She was a rising star for criminal. Like, so I don't even know how she would have found her. She couldn't have been looking for a defamation attorney and found her.
I don't know,
because her name wouldn't have popped up. So I'm assuming there was some relationship, or maybe she met her, in some other instance. But what I'm saying is, you let your clients know. You are absolutely right. You can review the case. You tell them your weaknesses and you tell them your strengths. You tell them, hey, I think you should go to a facilitation, arbitration, mediation, or something to try to come to a happy medium. It might have been where she didn't come out of nothing but take this down. Because honestly, did you make $4 million off of Cardi B by keeping it up? That's how you have to explain it to your client, the cost benefit analysis. What if they come back with a $10 million verdict? Are those videos generating that much where it's that important to take it down? So then you may owe $10 million and still have to take the videos down. But it depends on how your attorney talked to you and told you straight up. Somebody like Tasha probably needs somebody that's just straight up like, listen, sus. This the real deal. I don't care who you are. I've represented plenty of people with money, plenty of people that are celebrities, but this is what you're looking at. Now, I try your case and I'll go in there windmilling like hell, but I can't guarantee you gonna win. And I'm about to put this in writing because you're not coming after me if you lose.
Right. And I feel like that's what those other attorneys, according to Tasha's version of the story, Olga was not her first choice. Now, she recommended Olga to Larry Reed, not the other way around. People in the chat, I just want to let y'all know.
Yeah.
But she went to other people first, and that's probably exactly what they said to her. They said, "Now look, girl, I'll go as however far you want me to go with this, and it's gonna cost you however much it's gonna cost you. But let's try to settle it. Let's sit down, because again." And I don't remember all the facts of the case at this point, child. This thing been going on forever. But what I do remember is in the beginning, all Cardi B wanted was for her to take the videos down. That's it. Like she even, before she even got her attorney involved, she reached out to Tasha K personally in her DMs and was like, look, that information isn't true. Can you take it down? And Tasha K was like, well, if it's not true, why don't you come on here and give me the interview and tell your side of the story? Cardi B didn't want to do that. Cardi B was like, no, I don't want to do an interview. I don't want to talk about it. Can you just take it down? And that's where it started, from my understanding. And when she first got that first cease and desist from Cardi B's attorney, she very publicly went live and was like, I'll wipe my ass with your cease and desist.
That's before my time, child.
Yeah. Oh no, she went live. It was a video, and I mean, she eventually, obviously, she took it down, but she went live and she said, "I'll wipe my ass with your cease and desist." Lord. So you're
probably right. She probably didn't want to settle, and was probably because you don't want to acknowledge that you were wrong and you had to do it. I'd have took that stuff. It just ain't that deep. It just is not that deep, and I'm not. This isn't my full-time job, and I'm not making that type of money. So I am saying it from the position where I sit, but it just doesn't seem like it's that deep. And I get it. I hear people say, well, what about freedom of speech? If you start taking stuff down now, I believe that was one of the arguments, then I'm going to have a whole lot of people saying that, no, it's easier for you. This is better for you to have you an attorney that's on your team that you can consult with, that can tell you before you put out some of this information, some of these interviews, some of this, whatever, to tell you, do you think this is okay to put out, and if there's a safe way to put out, and you can still be funny, put your spin on it, but at least you know that you're protected because you got advice. You just can't always be willy-nilly because there's consequences with freedom of speech sometimes. I mean, it just is. You can't say any and everything. You just can't.
Mm-hmm. And again, I tell y'all all the time, freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence. And I need people to understand that it ain't the same thing. Yes, you have a right to say what you want to say, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a consequence for that. I tell my students all the time, yes, you can cuss me out. You have a right to call me all kinds of names, but there will be a consequence for that decision. Mm-hmm. And that is just that. And I think that people forget that that's part of it. Yes, there's nobody ever said, everybody, the Constitution doesn't say that there will be no freedom of, that there will be no consequence. The Constitution just says, yeah, I mean, you can say it.
Mm-hmm. And that's always expanding, and it's so much case law even on freedom of speech, you know.
It is. Oh my gosh. And it has evolved and it has changed, but the fact still remains that, so okay, there were the most obvious piece of this. What's up, Don Bull? The most obvious one of this was her saying that Cardi B had a disease. That was something that was very easy to disprove. And she told you, I don't have this, you know? And again, Tasha made numerous videos. I remember a video that Tasha did. She did a whole video with a picture of Cardi B that had a cold sore. And again, I don't know if it was a cold sore or not, but she had made up in her mind that she had this cold sore on her lip. And she did a whole video saying, this proves that you have what I'm saying that you have, because look at the cold sore on your lip. And because you have a cold sore, I mean, she did, and I'm not exaggerating, for people in the chat who remember, please give me a thumbs up or something. She did, and she might have did more than one, but I know for a fact she did a whole video, y'all, where she just had that picture up, and she must have talked for an hour about that picture and that cold sore and how that proved that she was right and Cardi was wrong.
Oh, wow.
She still insinuates that Cardi B has it
by saying, like, talking about the medical records and they didn't have her name on it and all of that type of stuff. But I mean, yeah, all that was before. A lot of the stuff I'm the legal side is kind of.
No, I know.
What I came in on. I didn't know about her lives. I didn't even know who Tasha K was until the lawsuit, and that was because that's a legal. Some of us read cases and keep up with stuff,
right?
Just to know what the law is. So that's how I knew about it, and I would listen to commentary on that. But.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway. So all right, so let's get into, because something else you said, but I'm sure we're gonna come back to it. I'm going through my notes. I'm sure we're gonna come back to it. Mm-hmm. So let's just get to the blatant stuff. Child, she admitted in court that she openly defied what the judge told her to do. Now, I know me and you were on the phone and you said, girl, the judge don't even have to tell you. When you have a judgment against you, the judge don't even have to tell you not to do what Tasha K did. But the judge specifically said, the judge has specifically said to her, do not move any assets. And she admitted on that phone call yesterday that she did exactly that numerous times after the judgment. She admitted that
the judge asked her, have you moved any assets in the last 4 years or changed over the title to the house? It was one or the other. I can't remember. And she said, oh yeah, she talked about Georgia and how I guess the house was in her and her husband's name, and then she took her name off of it and said when. She said after the judgment. And I think that's actually what opened up the door to the conversation. So yeah, the trustee probably wasn't aware to what he probably knew. You're not supposed to do that after, a judgment, because he's but he wasn't. I think he was just trying to elicit that information. But Cardi B's attorneys were on there. So when they started talking about Cardi B, that's when he asked the question, is Cardi B's lawyers on here? And that's when two of them was like, present.
Sure. And they specifically asked, though, didn't they say, well, didn't the judge tell you not to do that? Didn't her attorneys?
You talking about when Cardi B's and the attorneys may have
Cardi B's attorneys.
That's probably when I got off and got on my own hearing because I had a hearing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they started Cardi B's attorney when the trustee asked, do you want to question her? They said, oh no, we'll wait till you finish. So they let them go.
So Tasha K admitted that all of this stuff that she now has taken out of her name, she admitted that she did it after the judgment. She admitted that she took the house out of her name. She admitted that she closed down and liquidated Kibi Studios, which Kibi Studios had been 7 years old at this time. She liquidated and closed down Kibi Studios, and she started a whole new company called Kellen or something like that. She admitted that she sold her cars. She said she gave one of her cars to her niece, but she can't remember. She said she don't know where it is, or she can't remember nothing about the car. She said, but it was only worth like $2,500 or something. She admitted the app is. She lied to the judge and said she does not have an app in her name. They were like, you don't have an app. She said, no, I don't have an app. Yeah. You mean the app Tasha K Live? You mean that app? It's allegedly, but it's now in her husband's name. So, but she admitted that she did all of this after the judgment, which according Simone, remember y'all, Simone brought all of this up on her video last week, yelling entertainment. So it's just looking very blatant that she's trying to avoid, like Simone said, she's trying to do everything to protect her business, probably hoping that this bankruptcy, and then she can protect and keep all of this, her house, her business, and all of that. But that's just, I don't know. I ain't gonna say that's not how this works, because Lord knows people get away with shit all the time. But it's just blatant. It was just blatant. Okay. Child, she even had these Louis Vuitton bags are silly, but because it's so silly, I'm gonna just bring it up. She put Louis Vuitton bags on her bankruptcy, right? Because unlike some things, Louis Vuitton bags do appreciate. I mean, I know they're expensive but they do appreciate in value, right? They become vintage and then they're worth something if you take care of them, blah, blah, blah. So they asked her about these Louis Vuitton bags and she started stuttering again. Like she didn't know what they was talking about. She said, oh, well, I don't know where they are. How you going to put something on a filing as an asset, but you don't know where it is?
Yep, that happened.
Then she said, oh, well, they were used when I got them. Somebody gave them to me. Child. So she agreed to take pictures of the persons and send them into the court. Ma'am, how you gonna list something as an asset and you don't even know where it is? You don't know where it is. She said she don't know where them bags are. Y'all, it was just ridiculous. It was so ridiculous that it was just, child. Anyway, let me just keep going through my notes, child. Let me keep going through my notes. Okay, she said she goes sue the attorneys, but we just talked about that. They asked her about her bank accounts. They asked her, and again, you can listen. Y'all know now. I know Pam got a real law degree. She passed the real bar somewhere. Okay, y'all know my law degree come from the Law School of Law and Order by way of Matlock University. But even my law degree, I know that when attorneys start asking you certain questions, they already know the answer to it and they setting your ass up. Even I learned the best. Jack McCoy was my mentor and he taught me well. Even I know that when they start leading you down the trail, they are setting you up. So they start asking her about these bank accounts and they asked her, do you have bank accounts in other countries? She said no. They said, do you have any bank accounts? What about in Africa? I don't have any bank accounts in Africa. Well, what about your husband? I mean, I think he might have had a bank account when he was a kid or something. Girl, you don't think they already know the answer to that question? So then Cardi B's attorney gonna say to her, you know I follow you on Instagram, right? She said, yeah, I know. He said, but why did you block me? She said, well, I just blocked everybody. I know that, they're investigators and Cardi B. So I just blocked everybody that was connected to Cardi B. He said, well, that's okay. I can subpoena whatever. She said, well, I can unblock you. He said, that's okay. I can just subpoena what I need from you. That's fine. Ma'am, I don't know how many different ways they need to tell you that they already know what you did. I just don't know how many different, and I'm not saying that means she actually did, but Cardi B said it last week. And listen, Cardi B, a lot of things. I think she need to work on her impulse control, just like Tasha need to work on hers. But I believed Cardi B when Cardi said, my attorneys know you hid them, they found that money you hid in Africa. I believe her. I believe that they done put a forensic count in, and I believe they done found that money. Now, whether they can get it or not, that's another conversation. But I believe they know. Oh, I believe they know. What you think, Pam? Well, you don't have to tell me what you think. I don't want to put you in nothing, child.
I'm sorry. I was chewing.
No, you fine, girl. You fine.
I haven't eaten today. Which part were we talking about? I'm sorry.
I'm just talking about them leading her down that road of bank accounts in Africa. And I was
every question that Cardi's attorneys asked her, they already knew the answer to. They were just trying to get her on the record.
Mm-hmm. Because somebody,
a copy of some motion is filed in the other court where they got the judgment from, because they definitely were trying to. They were letting her know, like, we own you, we see you.
So they basically were just trying to get certain things on the record, and they're gonna, in your professional opinion, they're gonna just file some sort of a something in the other court.
Yeah, because everything was, first of all, I was under oath, and then before the trustee he asked, okay, I'm going off this application. Are there any changes? Is everything true and accurate? And all I kept thinking about was Simone's video. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, I'd have been like, it's to the best of my ability, but I would like the ability to amend it, if something comes to mind, because that's what I was thinking at the time. Maybe, sometimes you forget you may have an extra Chanel bag or something, So right. I would say, I reserve my right to amend it, but I did it to the best of my recollection at the time. So when certain conversations came up, such as the Unwind with Tasha K, and he said, well, that, we know that website wasn't put on there on the application. And he inquired about that website and how much the value was. Has she ever had a value? Has she thought about selling it? I mean, it was a whole line of question regarding that, but I don't recall that being on her bankruptcy filer, so, But you acknowledge that as well. But they asked you, do you want to change anything? Is everything accurate? So if you would have said, yeah, I want to reserve my right to amend, but it seems like your attorney it felt like, and I don't know, because I don't do bankruptcy, but it felt like she didn't even know what this entailed. She didn't understand everything that was going to happen and what questions she was going to have to ask, and how all these creditors have the right to ask you questions and cross-examine. How Cardi B's people, of course, they put in their claim because they're a creditor. They're the biggest creditor, almost why you probably filed this.
No, she said that. She said that in the hearing, that's pretty much why she filed it. Yeah. My thing is this. Oh, shoot, it was something you just said, Pam. Damn, I just lost my train of thought. But it was something you literally just said. Golly, Crystal. Oh, Lord, I called my whole name. It was literally something you just said that about with Tasha K. But I agree, and I said that at the beginning of my video, that that either her attorneys did not prepare her or she didn't listen. And when it comes to Tasha K, it could just very well be that she didn't listen. Yeah. But I think that, and this is something that I think me and you talked about as well, because she filed bankruptcy before, I think she thought it was going to be the same. But when you filed bankruptcy before, girl, you wasn't Tasha K. You didn't owe Cardi B. Everything is going to be put under a microscope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, Mims, what's up, boo?
Hey, Mims. Hey, Don.
Yeah, so it's going to be put under a microscope that it wasn't put under when you filed bankruptcy, when you and your husband had a transportation company. You are a whole entity now. And it's different.
But she said that too when she was in the hearing. The judge was like, I mean, it wasn't a judge, so I might mess up and keep saying that. It was a trustee.
It was a trustee.
But he was like, what can you sell? Your unwind with Tasha K? Like, can you sell that? And I think Simone mentioned the trademarks and stuff not being on there, which is worth money. But and she said, no, I am unwind with, like, I'm the brand. Like, how do you sell that? You know, how do you sell my name or sell whatever? I said, child, Cardi might go ahead and go swoop that up.
Right, but that's what Simone said. Simone was like, Cardi will buy it. It's kind of like when you play Monopoly. It's like, okay, I really want my $2,500 for land on a boardwalk, but I'll go ahead and just take your property. You know what I mean? Like, I want my $4 million, but I'll take your brand. I'll take your trademark. I'll take all of that, because then you won't be Tasha K anymore. You can't do this to nobody else that you did to me. You know what I'm saying?
Dark said our lawsuits even cover under bankruptcy. Judgments for personal injuries typically are not, but she's not doing a Chapter 7 trying to wipe off all her debt. She's trying to reorganize, restructure, and make payment arrangements.
Right. And that's different as well. And that's why it's important when the judge asked her, well, did you ever try to make payment arrangements? Because you're saying, look, I can't afford this debt and I can't afford to pay this debt. But you never even tried to talk to Cardi B and her attorneys and see what they want. It'd be one thing if she sat down with them and what they wanted was unreasonable. But they never sat down. You never sat down with them. So it's not the same thing. It's like, well, how can you say that you can't afford to pay them when you never talked to them to find out what they want a month? Now, granted, if you sat down and they were like, we want all our money right now, or we want it all paid by the end of the year or whatever, okay, that might be something you like, I can't do that. But if they said, we'll take $20,000 a month, that might be a little bit more reasonable in your wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? So I found that to be interesting that she admitted. And then why she tried to make it seem like it was innocent? Well, I mean, we talk on social media. Girl, you do not talk on social media. You troll on social media. You and Cardi B do not be on social media kikiing it, girl. You troll that woman.
Yeah, we used to DM each other, but now we just are up under each other's comments. You know, I said, what? And then eventually she fell into the whole, the conversation came out about how much she makes on her platform. So, of course, she talks about the different, you know what I'm trying to say, and not endorsements. You know what I'm trying to say. The people that come on there,
brand deals,
advertising, the advertisers or whatever. Mm-hmm. So she mentioned like she had that big firm, Morgan & Morgan. They were a firm that they had but she's not advertising for them anymore because apparently the budget has ran out. So she only advertised up to like the budget, and she was saying it was kind of like, she got for 75,000 views, she would get $500 or something, I think is what she said. So, but she made it like, because of this situation with Cardi B and her being dragged and being deemed a liar in court, she can't get these type of, like, people don't want to work with her like that anymore. So 90% of her income has been affected. And she kind of turned into almost a victim. In that conversation, it was like, well, because my name is always out there and people are calling me liars, and then because Cardi wants her money, you know, just kind of going into that whole long diatribe about this situation. Now it's like it's affected her finances.
Oh, so now so Kia says on her last I'm So Humble speech, she said she tried to make payment arrangements with Cardi, but Cardi wasn't working with her. So either you lied to the court or you lied to your people. She probably just lied to her people. She never did try to make any payment arrangements. Well, he makes me so sick.
Well, we know the attorneys were we know the attorneys were on there, so she couldn't say. You know what I'm saying? Like, she couldn't say that if it wasn't true. She couldn't say, oh, yeah, we tried to make payment arrangements because the attorneys is on there.
Mims, change that. Change that before I bring you up here. Change that. Anyway.
Mims got a crazy picture.
He said he want to ask a question, but I ain't bringing him up while he got that up there. Anyway.
Mims.
Ain't he messy? I ain't doing it. Change that picture or that name or something. Anyway, Okay, that's better. Oh, now he got the thirst trap up. That's better. Yeah. Give us the thirst trap.
Hold on.
He gonna change it back. You know he gonna messy ass.
Okay. So my question is, hey everybody.
Hey, ma'am.
Hey.
Pam, is there a way for an attorney to go back and say my client was due money, Tasha K fled the country, put all this money in African banks? Is there a way to pull the records of exactly how much she had in the Unwind with Tasha K bank accounts prior to that trip to Africa?
What you're asking for is a forensic audit, and I'm sure that that's exactly what Tasha K's attorneys are going to do.
You mean Cardi B?
Oh, yeah, Cardi B. I'm sorry. Cardi B's attorney.
If it's found that during the case she moved all of her money, is there even a way to get that money back?
That's a good question. I don't think there's a way that you can really get it. That's why people put their money in offshore accounts. But I believe if you can track it, it may be more IRS issues if you haven't paid taxes on it. That's how the United States gets involved, but it's very difficult when you deal with other countries, and depending on what, everything is statutory based. So they may have some type of reciprocity where they honor the United States judgment. It just depends on the country, and I'm not that familiar.
I mean, because to me, it feels like she's pretty much gotten away with it. They can't really get the money. And from what I've heard, she's already moved things into her children's names or her husband's name. So technically, it's probably like set up like an S corp where she's just paid a salary and they are garnishing her salary as opposed to all the money that she's making.
Yeah, you're right, because her app is in her husband's name now. It shows up with her husband. I don't know. I think
so technically they could just reduce her pay and reduce the amount she's gonna pay. You know what I mean? Like if her salary was $15,000 a month and they can take 25%, well, he could just demote her to $5,000 a month. You know what I'm like? Mm-hmm. Something doesn't feel right. Like there has to be
but the problem is they're gonna dive into all of that, because she said that KB Studios was dissolved. Wasn't bankruptcy or anything. They just dissolved it after they got a $500,000 judgment. I think people keep forgetting KB Studios had a judgment as well. But really all you kind of did was switch over and change entities to a new one. And it looks like pretty much the same equipment to me. Looks like kind of the same stuff that you had before. But I think she did tell the trustee she sold off most of her stuff for the business. When he asked her, what did you do with the stuff from the business? She said she sold it, most of the equipment.
But here's the thing, according to what, it's not so much that she got away with it, it's as so much as she can be held in contempt. It's a civil case, but she can be held in contempt. But because it's civil, I mean, we're just talking about basically more money. But I don't think it's so much that, quote unquote, she got away with it.
And Cynthia, you're absolutely correct. The court does not have to grant the bankruptcy. They don't.
Right, and that's the other thing. The court doesn't have to grant the bankruptcy.
I just feel like she's getting away with it.
Yes, interesting.
I feel like her attorneys were inept and inadequate, but they were really good at fixing her up. It seemed as though she had no money, and
my baby,
all the money that she's making isn't technically hers. So how can they garnish somebody else's money?
But honestly, she would have been better if she would have just got a default. How much is the young lady that brought a lot of the stuff to Tasha? Remember, she got defaulted. How much money did she have to pay? What was in her default? We don't even hear about her.
Wait, who?
There was another. Really, B? You listening? She up here talking to. She talking.
I'm sorry, y'all.
You know this your show, right?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Remember who was the other young lady that was on the lawsuit? Because Cardi B didn't just
Star Marie.
So she got defaulted because she just didn't even answer. What was her judgment?
I think 150. I think 150,000.
That's all I'm saying. She brought, because with defaults, they don't necessarily are going to give you all these punitive damages and try to punish you and all of that. You have to show the value of whatever your damages are, and then the judge, they don't just typically give you astronomical amounts in a default unless you can prove it. So the fact you got $150,000 judgment, you ain't spent $1 on attorneys. Tasha could have paid that $150 with the money that she paid her attorneys.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying, kid. Thank you for the super chat. The IRS, if there's money found in the offshore account, that's where she could be facing criminal time.
Oh, yeah.
The IRS feels like we know people go to jail over IRS debt all the time. And she already owes the IRS. The IRS is already a part of this. And let's just say this, if the bankruptcy gets thrown out altogether, she's stuck. She's stuck.
How can she be stuck if they're only garnishing her YouTube check? They're taking 25.
She still owes the money though, ma'am. The money, if they throw out the bankruptcy, well, the bankruptcy is just for reorganization anyway. She still owes the money. It's not
owe the money till the end of time and not ever have to pay it completely, right? That's probably in her best interest. If they throw it out and she's only paying $10,000 a month, that's like 1.2 million. No, she could pay that for the rest of her life basically and be fine without ever actually having to pay the girl the $4 million. I want them to be able to use this forensic accountant and then do an additional, she can't have done all this stuff legally. There has to be some loopholes that Cardi can use to get her money.
Tracy just said exactly what I was getting ready to say. OJ still owe that money to the Goldmans. People do it all the time, unfortunately. OJ still owe all that money.
Now, all they do is people watch you. They watch your every move. So, again, when OJ had that book that came out, they immediately filed a judgment to take all proceeds from the book.
Yeah.
I just think it's interesting that she claims she makes like $3,000 a month or some change, but her husband makes like $23,000 a month.
Right. Because she made herself an employee of his company. She done put everything in his name.
Mm-hmm.
That was next on my list. But I just can't seem to get to my list because we keep getting off topic, which is fine because we getting all the information.
OJ should just borrow the money from Chloe.
Go see, now you're being shady. There he go. I knew he couldn't do
it. I knew he was being way too good too long.
I knew he couldn't do it. What if her husband takes off with the money?
Hit that like button, okay? We missing a cool 100 and something in likes.
I know, because we got 450 people in the room, and y'all know I love that all of y'all are here, but go on and let me know you were here. Hit that button. Okay. So,
wait, I'm sorry. How could she say that she only makes $22,000 and he makes $3,000? We know for a fact that she's making about $40 on YouTube a month.
Because she put everything in his name.
If the YouTube and stuff is in the business and
everything is in her husband's name, so he's making that money.
If she becomes an employee, then in theory the business will make $40,000, and then he gets the check.
Can Cardi B go back and just sue the business as well? Like add the business to the lawsuit?
I mean, I'm sure she can probably say they're one and the same if they dissolve the other business and they're just an alter ego or something. I'm sure her attorneys are coming with something clever. But certainly Tasha is making her spend money to find this money.
So it could be $5 million by the end of it.
It could be.
You know, Cardi doesn't care. Cardi is like, it's the principal. And she said she probably wouldn't even go after her like this because she doesn't need the money. But for the interactions on social media and all the beef and drama that's been going on.
Well, technically, she's not touring. She hasn't put out an album. And she just built a new house. I think she probably could use the money. Just saying, they live really, really well. $8 million house in Atlanta. They just built a new home in New Jersey. Cardi's like going through some money.
Yeah, but I think people forget that Cardi gets paid to do a lot of different things other than music. That's part of the reason why she has stayed away from music as long as she has. I mean, she had the partnership deal with Reebok. She had the partnership deal with McDonald's. She had she gets paid to do the couture and for these designers to dress her and for her to go. Like, she don't go to Paris Fashion Week because she feel like it. She gets paid to do those things. So it's not that she ain't making no money outside of music. She's making plenty of money outside of music.
Gloria said, will the results be the same if she divorced her husband? Well, when you have a divorce, then I was explaining that too. When you get a divorce, it's you got to split the assets and you got to split the debt that was accumulated during the course of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So if he divorced her, he gonna owe half of that $4 million. that's currently hers. So while they're married, apparently under the bankruptcy code, there's a way that you can have one spouse that files. And for bankruptcy, probably like a married filing separate type of thing. I don't know anything about bankruptcy. But clearly you can do that because, I mean, you have to list that you have a husband, but I don't think that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to file bankruptcy, that you can do it separate from what I was gathering from the trustee. So this is probably the better route. If it works out,
Well, guys, this was definitely informative. Thank you for letting me come up, Really B. It was always good talking to you, Pam. I'm gonna drop down and listen.
Alrighty.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think that, and I understand the frustration because we feel like, oh, she's getting, it's kind of like our favorite bishop, right? Why does he keep getting away with it? Why does he keep getting away with it? Unfortunately, when you have people who make it their business to figure out ways to circumvent rather than do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I mean, let's be clear, Tasha K got herself in this mess because she doesn't want to follow rules. You know what I mean? And she's going to keep doing this as long as she feel like she can get away with it.
Well, now, said Cardi's net worth is between 40 and 80 million, so therefore she is not.
Cardi's fine. Listen,
that $4 million. It's a lot to people that $4 million is a lot to people that don't have it. I think people look at other people from the lens of their financial position. If you've never seen $1 million, $4 million seems like a whole lot. But if you've seen $1 million, you've seen 10 million, you've seen 100 million, she literally $4 million is like what she had a bag of cash of over $1 million she gave to her husband just because, and they in the same house. You know, like that's the type of stuff they do. So when you look at that from, I know she's not hurting and struggling by no stretch.
Steve Patterson says, I doubt Cardi has that much. Why do you doubt she has? See, that's what I'm saying. Why do y'all doubt she has that much? Just because y'all don't see her, because she's not doing music? Why do y'all doubt she has that much money? Like, do y'all not pay attention? Cardi B's face is everywhere. Y'all think she's doing that stuff for free? Cardi buys investment properties. Cardi has invested in resorts in the Dominican Republic. Cardi has a whole partnership with Reebok. When very similar to Ivy Park, you know, to Beyonce's partnership with Ivy Park. Now I know that what's online, you can't go by what's online, child. I know you can't go what's online. Right. Cardi B got paid $2 million to perform in somebody's backyard. Like, come on, like y'all stop.
She literally is not really, and to get her to do a show, oh, you paying big time to get her to do a show. But again, it's the same concept. You have to look at it. Remember when you made 20,000, you was like, oh, when I make 100, all you wanted was to thrive to make 6 figures. Then you make 6 figures. You like, dang, I can't even hardly go grocery shopping. Like, what is this? I paid 20, 30 of it in taxes. Like it doesn't seem like that much once you get to that point. And I think that's what it is with a lot of these multimillionaires. That probably was a lot to her when she was back in Brooklyn and sharing an apartment or whatever she was going, before she became a star. That probably was a lot. But right now, between her and her husband, yeah, that $4 million, she could chalk that up as a loss and wouldn't even.
But Tracy, that probably is his net worth. That's what I'm saying. When you talk about net worth, you're not talking about what somebody has in the bank. As of right now, he still owns that house. That house is over $1 million. As of right now, he still owns. They're in receivership, but he hasn't lost those apartment buildings. So when you take his property into consideration, he probably does have a net worth of $2 million. Now ask me how much he got in the bank. That's another conversation.
Well, the indictment said.
Right. I mean, the indictment said he had no money in the bank.
He definitely does have, and then even his car that he drives, Rolls Royces have value. They don't depreciate like other cars. So perhaps his car is worth, his car is worth something as well. And then again, he does own the house. It probably is equity in that house. Then he does have he does have the building. So yeah, I can see it being about $2 million.
Right. But again, somebody's net worth and what they have in liquid cash, that's two different conversations.
Different things. Yeah.
Now, right. Does he have $2 million in the bank? Yeah, no, we know that's not the case. We know that's not the case.
Chef Don said he's repeating the indictment. That was just one of his accounts, Chef Don. One of his accounts.
Right. Exactly.
Let me keep trolling. Who else is you know what?
Anybody fooling with Tracy?
Probably has an accountant and enroll agents to reduce her tax bill every year. Yeah, we done went all off on a tangent. We all up in everybody.
We all about
Cardi B up in the chat because your best friend Danielle is over here right now. I'm looking at her. She's in the bathroom. I'm brushing her teeth for the 50th time and playing in water. So I'm gonna have
tell Danielle I said hey girl.
Okay.
Tell Danielle I said hey girl.
All right, we'll talk.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, so that was the superseding indictment, chat. So, okay, let me just make sure I cover all my notes, y'all, because we can wrap this up. Let me make sure. Thank you for everybody for being here. Thank you for my guests who came up. Now, Tasha K said that she lost 90% of her income after the judgment. She said that she lost a lot of her endorsements because people just don't trust her anymore because she was betrayed as a liar. She was portrayed as a liar. But her subscriber count went up on her app and on YouTube after the judgment. But she said that she lost 90% of her income, child. But like I said, she basically put everything in her husband's name, child. So we say all this to say that Tasha K was down to the bankruptcy court yesterday, hemming and hollering, stuttering and stuttering, and it just didn't look good. Again, what could possibly happen with the bankruptcy situation is that the bankruptcy does not get approved; it gets thrown out, and then Tasha K is basically back where she started with owing the money, and everything that she's done to try to hide her money and assets and protect her businesses and brands or whatever was really done for naught because you still owe this money. I think she thought that the bankruptcy would be easy because she had filed bankruptcy before, but baby, you filed bankruptcy before you were a brand, before you were Tasha K, before this case became such a big thing. I don't know, Ms. Bathing. That's a good question. Did Tasha K, thank you for the super chat. Did Tasha K have an order of examination hearing yet? I do not know. That's a good question. I do not know. Really, I honestly don't think she makes that much on her app. Think about it. If no one pays the yearly amount, she's not making that much on a monthly basis. Let me say this to you, Chef Don. I think you're right. And I'm going to tell you why. I remember Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly used to have a dating app. And I watch her reviews during Married, when she does her Married to Medicine reviews. And somebody asked her on one of her lives, why did you stop doing the dating app? And she said, I shut the dating app down when it stopped making me money. She said it was costing her, like, I don't want to make up a number, y'all, but I know it was somewhere between $50,000 to $100,000 a month to maintain the app. And she said when people were subscribing, I was making money. She said, but when people stopped subscribing to the app, it wasn't, and maybe it wasn't, because I remember when she said the number, I was like, damn, I was like, that's a lot of money per month. But she said that when people stopped subscribing to the app, I stopped making money, and so I shut it down. Dr. Heavenly don't play about her money, okay? So I think you could be right, Don, when you say that she might not be making that much money. Because if you look at the app, y'all know I messed around, and during the whole SWV thing, child, I done went on and subscribed to the thing. But when you see all that other stuff that's on her app that don't have nothing to do with Tasha K, she's got movies and all kinds of stuff that's streaming through her app. That ain't got nothing to do with Tasha K. And who is watching that? I mean, maybe the hardcore winos are, but who is really watching any of that stuff that she has on that app? Like, honestly. But I think that's what she thought. I think she thought that this bankruptcy was going to be easy. And so she walked up into court yesterday, and that thing hit her upside the head. And she was like, wait, what? You want me to do? I have to answer. I got to explain, And let's be clear. Going back to Mims's question, let's remember that is what Teresa Giudice went to jail for. I was going to say love and marriage, shout. The Real Housewives of Real Housewives of New Jersey star, Teresa Giudice, she did not go to jail. Everybody thinks that the woman went to jail because she signed the paperwork for her husband. That is not why that woman went to jail. She went to jail because she lied on her bankruptcy paperwork. Her and her husband were filing bankruptcy as a result of the cases, that they were under investigation. There was a criminal investigation, but that is not why Teresa Giudice went to jail. Teresa Giudice went to jail because she kept submitting paperwork to the court that was fraudulent. And it was the bankruptcy paperwork. The trustee kept saying, excuse me, this information isn't correct. You need to fix it. And every time they would submit it, they would never be fully honest about all of their assets. They wouldn't be honest about all of their assets. And so the judge was like, look, girl, I know you're the mother of 4, and I was really trying not to do this to you, but the fact that you keep lying to the court tells me that you're not taking any of this seriously, and you still believe and you're still lying to the court. And so I'm going to have to, I didn't want to send you to court, but boom, I had to do it. What's up, Cups? Hey, boo. So it's not that it can't get to that point. I mean, like I said, we know the IRS don't play. The IRS will put your ass in jail. And the IRS agent was on that call last night like, excuse me, sorry, but you still ain't even filed your taxes for a couple of years. The years that you did file, you owe us. And you got a couple of years here that you didn't file. When we going to get them? They even asked her that. When we going to get them filings? Excuse me. She talking about something tomorrow. Who can do their taxes overnight like that? Because if you had the taxes sitting there, you could have been filed them. How about that? Who just got their taxes? If you got multiple businesses and all that, you can't just sit down and do your taxes like when you was working your little part-time job down to McDonald's after school. Who does, like, girl, what? Right, the Chrisleys, tax evasion. Now, the thing is, your criminal activity is what puts you on the IRS's radar. That's what happened with Teresa and Joe. Their criminal activity is where the IRS, the local authorities told the IRS, look, they're fraudulently, they embezzling money. So I know they're not paying taxes on the money that they stealing. And the IRS was like, oh, really? They're stealing money? Huh. Let's go check it out. And that's where all of that happened. And so they tried to file bankruptcy to, get out of a lot of that. And again, they didn't put everything on the bankruptcy. And in Tasha's case, not only are you not putting everything on the bankruptcy, but you are blatantly trying to sidestep the court. You are blatantly trying to sidestep the court. Like, it is like, that's what you're doing. I agree, love. At this point, it's a joke. It is a joke. But I'm going to tell you what I think is going to definitely happen. According to the people that I done talked to, attorneys, a lot of those questions that were asked yesterday were to just get stuff on I'm sorry. A lot of those people were I lost my train of thought. Damn it. Jermaine Dupri got caught by the IRS by being on the episode of MTV Cribs. I mean, listen, y'all know they watching. Hell, Boosie just got arrested because he was on live with a weapon on his hip that he wasn't supposed to have. Like, come on, y'all. Hiding assets is illegal. Yep. So it's not that she's not allegedly, possibly, maybe breaking the law. It's not that that's not a situation. But we'll see how it all plays out, child. We got to see how this thing all plays out. Child, yes, Bishop Whitehead got a subscription down to the Instagram. But remember, he talked about bloggers and us monetizing our content. But you down to Instagram trying to get people to pay $9.99 a month to hear you do what? Bible study? To hear you do what? 10 toes down? Come here, Pooh. What is going on with your pants? Good night. Night. You better give my yes. Love you.
You still on thing?
You say hi to the people.
Hi.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
He been playing in the mic all week. You
Boy,
want to
come on here.
Good night, boy.
We
Have fun tomorrow.
We're gonna leave the park at about 2. Come back here and take a nap, and then we go down.
All right. So, what you want to make the reservation for? What, 6? Is that good? 7?
6 is good.
6 is good. Okay.
Auntie bed on that side.
Yeah, I see Auntie's bed.
Yeah.
Which is weird that they would have a adjoining door go straight to your bedroom, but
This whole thing is weird.
if you want to close off your
Right. Exactly. I said the same thing.
well, I want privacy while I eat my breakfast.
Okay. Anyway.
Cool.
Now your sister saying you still on that thing. Child, you know my sister is disrespectful, Janae. That's your auntie. You know she disrespectful, Janae. Not no baby fever. Let me go watch it. Catch me. Child, that's my nephew, child. That's my Pooh. We went to go play putt-putt today, child. Ooh. If Whitehead gonna block paying subscribers, probably, but listen, I ain't paying for that subscription. Listen, y'all know I be taking it for the team sometimes, but I'm not taking that one for the team. I am not. So don't ask me because I ain't doing it. I am not gonna help him pay his legal fees to try to. I'm not. Anyway, y'all, let me get off of here. I have homework to do for my class. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I was out in that sun today. I done had me some look. Tracy said, boo. I ain't fooling with you, Tracy. Don said he ain't behind it either. I'm probably pre-blocked. I'm probably pre-blocked. You ain't lying. Child, we got almost to 500 people in here, boy. They love talking about Tasha K, honey. Tracy, I'm not fooling with you or El Teddy on this meet and greet. Listen. On that note, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Good night, y'all. Mwah. Your niece was talking about you.
My niece?
Your niece, Janae.
She on it?
Yeah, she be on my channel. She supports the YouTube movement. She's a moderator and everything on my channel. She's a member. She all of that. Don't look at what you looking at me like that for? Cause what? You lucky you in your nightgown. I would show the people what you look like right now. But right now, I don't need nobody seeing that. I don't need nobody seeing that.
It's just not my thing.
With the bonnet and the I don't need.
I'm not a computer. You know?
I know. Janae said, "Stop trying to start me."
Right. You know, it's just hate on me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not my thing.
I understand.
I be popping up on your nephew tablet, or he be like, "It's auntie." Because I think I did.
I thought he was on the kids' YouTube. He shouldn't even be able to see my channel.
Well, when he's on my phone and stuff.
Oh, when he's on your phone, yeah. All right, bye.
Yeah, my husband was like, "You ain't bring me one."
Anyway. All right, y'all. Good night. I would have been wrong to show y'all my sister walking around in her night clothes, but I'm not that kind of sister. Mwah. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Thank you to all the super chats and the cash apps. Appreciate it.